Welcome to the RPGamer Adventure Corner, Ever 17, The Out of Infinity. This is read by Sperumbres, written by Dalandar, and the video is edited by Airfrog. In this edition of the column, we take a look at Mages Inc. Ever 17, The Out of Infinity on Nintendo Switch. Visual novel writer Kotaro Ushikoshi has an unique eyes for tying together the most outlandish of sci-fi plots and making them seem plausible in a far-fetched manner. Ever 17, The Out of Infinity has a real unfettered feel to the story that goes through many motions before everything begins to fit in place. Though this version being based on the 2011 remake helped make things a little easier to follow and streamline the journey. Unlike the first game in the Infinity series, Never Seven, The End of Infinity, there is much less direct romantic plot in the standalone sequel. There are still well-written characters and a penchant for unraveling layers of information to see a larger picture that stand up as though provoking and expensive adventure that hard to not see through to the end. The game begins as Takeshi Karanari head out on a golden week break from college with two friends to an amusement park on Insel Null that feel futuristic even in this more modern setting. Insel Null is an artificial island that is home to Lemu, which could be considered similar to SeaWorld if it weren't for the fact that it's some 50 meters underwater. After exploring the upper level on the island's surface, Takeshi is separated from his friend while entering the underwater portion via a pressurized elevator. During this time, he becomes acquainted with the tour guide Sora and energetic ice cooler Coco, before later also bumping into part-time employee Yu, the mysterious Tsugumi, and an amnesiac teenager they end up simply calling Kid. As Takeshi and Tsugumi walk through a corridor, the door shut, alarms start to go off, and the underwater complex begin to flood. This group of strangers have to find a way out of the collapsing theme park before it is fully engulfed in the ocean in 119 hours. The amount of twist and turn beyond this premise are numerous. There is nuances in how each character acts, bound, and what mysteries are uncovered. It is all incredibly detailed in a way that a single playthrough cannot fully capture. The first playthrough largely set the tone for how each of these characters are going to interact with one another, playing upon a sense of familiarity to want to see their survival. Each character has something that adds to the mysterious puzzle of this underwater theme park. Despite the sci-fi twist, Ever 17, The Out of Infinity tend to take rather realistic route with its characters. They have all been through something that won't make them open up to one another fully. This means that piecing together the full picture from the individual moments needs to be done intricately to avoid conflicting details. However, this is accomplished with aplomb, and every choice leads player down a different rabbit hole that help them piece things together a bit more. The dialogue is quite heavy on the pseudoscience, so there are definitely some explanation that can easily cause confusion, but in the heart of characters shine through and create a beacon to focus, since understanding the sci-fi elements doesn't get in the way of the events playing out the way they do. Player urgency unfolds more in how they interact with the characters around them, with the players ideally focusing on response that get them closer to one individual on each playthrough. There are 9 routes in total, and each one weaves into the others to uncover more of the puzzle. The setup of who to connect with and bonding with the group feels a little long, as Ever 17 The Out of Infinity takes its time to showcase the personality of every character. This payoff with the variety of secrets that are uncovered, with every character leading to interesting moments that keep players wondering how everything fits together. It is difficult to go too far into detail without trading into some clue that is best discovering going in blind. But the haha moments that come from figuring out what propelled the stranger through the ticking clock of a sinking theme park beyond simple survival are well worth understanding. Some of the routes have a few moments that heavily foreshadow future twists, but how they actively intertwine is only accomplished by fully playing through multiple routes. This isn't a story where everything is led by a breadcrumbs to shocking moments, but rather by following threads slowly to understand what has already been laid out. While the focus is on a surreal science fiction stories, there are many tender moments between the characters that show how closely they're able to bond during a disaster. With a few of them as aged close to one another, they do fall in love and even make time to go on a date as a way to pass time while fixing portion of the theme park to make sure they are able to escape in time. While everything is cake and tension, there are moments of levity that add in bits of comedy and romance to avoid everything feeling like a non-stop thriller. As the second title in the Infinity series, there are some overarching theme and term originating in Never Seven the End of Infinity, but these are just fun tidbits and aren't necessary to the enjoyment and or understanding of the plot here. Ever 17 The Out of Infinity is more focused on the science fiction themes, and while there is still romance, it takes more of a backseat. Experiencing the titles as they were connected had a new layer of familiarity to how the characters are built that can help but add to the camaraderie. While the first portrayed the protagonist feeling more, this sequel let the player feel more like a backseat driver to the events that unfolding before them. Ever 17 The Out of Infinity has some interesting stylistic choice on the visual. The 2D character models are still as robust as ever, but it feels like they have fewer expressions that some might anticipate with the game's longer runtime. There are some more cutaway backgrounds that are found mostly during climatic or comedic scenes that are always a threat to see and lend to the thrilling adventure focus. There are some odd CG cutscenes that are always jarring due to being 3D moments captured on a 2D plane and don't blend in well with the rest of the backgrounds and never feature any characters. Musical composition is set to the location and urgency of the situation and are well crafted to fit the mood. However, the sound levels are poorly balanced, sometimes with voice line occasionally getting lost and the music or coming out sounding like a whisper. When it works well, the voice acting is wonderfully done, with the nuances brought to each role are easily uploaded as more side to their character are learned. The science fiction storytelling of Ever 17 The Out of Infinity make this an extended, thought-provoking adventure that is full of many layers. Despite how packed the story is, things are presented in a manner that is generally easy to follow, which helps broaden the scope in a wonderful way. Unfortunately, some of the slower moments in the beginning, HUD CG scene, and sound balance do take the player out of immersion, preventing it from feeling truly excellent. While the slow burn may be off-putting at first, the character building it provides make the thrilling moments it that much harder, and seeing the mystery evolve from each playthrough is just addicting to see through to the end. For more detail, hit up the link in the description below. For more video content, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitch for daily stream of your favorite RPGs. Join on the discussion at rpgamer.com on Discord. And for the latest in the RPG news, head over to rpgamer.com.